Hello everybody. Yesterday's vlog was this morning, and so I recorded that this morning, and I'm recording for the second time today because I know that tomorrow morning I'm definitely not going to want to record. I have a lot to do, and it was quite the day today. So while the day is on my mind, that I would run you through what I ended up deciding to do. Because if you remember yesterday's vlog, I was saying I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. Well, let me tell you what I did, because it was an interesting day. Where do I start? Okay, after I was done filming, finished some breakfast, uploaded, and then remembered that I had some trash and recycles to take into town, take to the convenience center. So that's what I ended up doing. And then I actually drove into town and went to the dealership for the truck there, because the truck needs new tires, and there happens to be a $100 rebate on the exact tires that we have on there now if I purchase them by the end of January. So that's tomorrow, the day that you guys are watching this, but my tomorrow. And so I called the dealer. I said, I'm going to be buying them anyway, because I have service on the 14th, I think it is, to put them in, to get them installed and do some other stuff on the truck. And I was like, I don't want to miss out on the $100 rebate. So drove into town, bought the tires. They'll install them on the 14th, so that way I can get the rebate now. All right, so I made it back into town, and I was kind of just putzing around, just doing, checking on the animals and kind of trying to figure out exactly what more I wanted to do. And I decided what I was going to do is clean out our OG coop, the original coop that Katie and I built when we were staying at Mr. Wayne's, which has been sitting in that spot right there for over a year. Can you guys see it? It's right there. It's been in that spot for over a year. It needs to be cleaned out. So I was going to do that, but I was like, you know what? First, let's go take a little walk with the dogs, because I've been, since I was gone for a while, like, let's go take a little walk. So we ended up heading down towards the red barn. And usually I just walk the kind of the established path, but this time I decided to kind of go through the wooded area, kind of in the lowlands where water runs down, just checking things out. And we're about halfway through it, and all of a sudden I hear a massive amount of commotion from the chickens that are up on the, what we call up on the hill and over by the pond. And it's not unusual for them to make a bunch of really loud noises when there are those buzzards that we have that hang around the barn, the gray barn, up by their coops. And the buzzards have never caused any issues for those birds. They go after dead stuff, not live stuff. But anytime those buzzards are around, they make a big noise. Well, this one seemed to be a little bit more commotioned, had a lot more commotion than normal. So I'm like, something's up, something's up, something's up. So I start hightailing it, going up the hill and trying to make it to their area. And I had the dogs with me, and the dogs are kind of running over there. And as I crest the hill and I see all the coops, all of a sudden the noise has stopped, and to my right, something flies off from the ground, flies up into the trees, and I catch it just in time, and I see a peregrine falcon from the ground flying up to the trees, and it was on top of one of our chickens. So this was one of the Rhode Island Reds that's in one of the coops up by, I need to get away from those sheep, up by the pond that we're letting free range, because they're going to be our free range flock for up there. And so one of the Rhode Island Reds, a little bit smaller than this one right here, but probably by a couple weeks. Hang on one second. I'm going to probably just edit this part out. Kinsley, come on, let's go. All right, so Rhode Island Red is on the ground. Peregrine falcon had just flown away from it. And I run over there, Winston is already over there sniffing it. And this poor chicken has just a huge hole in its throat, just torn out by the peregrine falcon and just bleeding like crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go to pick it up and the chicken stands up and starts running away. I'm like, what in the world? And I was able to chase it and grab it because it's out of energy, out of breath and all that kind of stuff, out of blood. Sorry, don't mean to be so graphic, but this is what happened. And I pick it up and it's just hanging its head and it's just, blood's dripping from its beak, and I'm like, oh, this poor thing. So I quickly make it over to the carport and I grab some paper towels and I put it on its neck to kind of soak up the blood, and I spray some red coat and some blue coat on it, antiseptic and antibacterial spray. Kinsley, sorry, I'll edit this part out too. Kinsley has been, so I'm going to take a little sidestep here. I keep checking on Kinsley because when we were on our walk, she decided that she was going to roll in poop and I had to wash her, and now I'm just making sure she's not going to go get dirty again because that was just gross. So anyway, so this chicken is in my arms, hanging down, head hanging down, and just has no energy. And I'm pretty certain it wasn't going to make it. But, I'm going to give it a chance. I know it's in shock and in pain and all that stuff. Spray the antiseptic on it, spray the antibacterial on it. And I ended up putting it in the brooder here, thinking that I'll check on it in like an hour or whatever, and either it's going to be dead or it's going to be alive. Well, unbelievably, this chicken is alive. So just like with Betty Jane and Elaine, the two chickens that got attacked by the raccoon and survived, I think this one's going to survive. It's going to need to be isolated for a while, be fed a high protein diet with lots of supplements. The water in there is probiotic water and electrolyte water. Actually fed it dog food. We're finding that dog food really gives them a boost in recovery. So we're going to let that chicken I'm going to let that chicken just sit there for the next few days and heal without any pressure from other chickens and making sure that it's isolated and all that kind of stuff. So that poor chicken, but I think it's going to make it. So then immediately after that, I get a text from one of the guys that's been working on our field here saying, hey, I'm going to come pick up my tractor because he needed it. Well, that means that I have to get my dogs, I have to get Levi on a leash so that way he doesn't run after the tractor out the gate onto the street chasing the tractor when they pull it out, because Levi has recently been running out to the street through the gate, and so trying to train him on a leash, and he's doing pretty good with that. So there was that aspect. So I didn't get to the OG coop. I wasn't able to get that thing cleaned. I got all of the free range chickens that are up by the pond. I got them back into their netting, and they're not going to be free range for a while. Tomorrow morning I'm going to make a few scarecrows and put them around or in the coop areas up where that falcon is making its presence and now attacking chickens. So that's going to be my day tomorrow morning. And then I've also recruited two of my friends. They're going to come help on Friday to start more demolition on the house. So I have tomorrow to kind of get things prepared and cleaned up a little bit. Dumpsters coming on Friday, so I ordered the dumpster today, and Thursday they're coming for the books. So we'll be in a good spot to start demolition on the flooring. So that was the day. It was quite the day. Even though it didn't really feel like much as I'm talking through it. It's one of those where a lot of running around on my feet most of the time, back and forth, farm life. And now I'm exhausted, and it's only like 4:30, and I could feel myself getting drained, so I knew I needed water. Actually went inside, got a snack. I got another dose of AG1. If you guys remember, I promoted that earlier last year, that supplement that you put in your water. Actually, I really like it. I can definitely notice a difference when I'm taking it, when I'm not. This is not a sponsorship, just telling you the truth. So, got some of that, get a little bit of boost. I got an entourage of some chickens here. Wow, that's a tall chicken. Right there. You got some legs. You're a good looking rooster. Look at you, that white one right there with a yellow and black neck. Look at you. You're a good looking rooster. You two over there, twin brother. So that's it for today. I'll check in with you guys again on Thursday. And then I'm going to be so glad to have those books out of that house. And then, yeah, so anyway, that's it. That's it for the day. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you later. Bye. How are all the chicks doing over here? Huh? How are all the chicks doing over here? Oh, one thing I didn't mention, why was I going to clean out the OG coop? It's because we have a lot of roosters that need to be separated from, like we have a couple roosters in the second ever coop and run right there. There's a couple roosters in here. This rooster, he needs to be separated from these little bantams because he's being too aggressive on two of them and they just stay in this little coop there. So I need to separate them so the bantams in there can have a little bit of freedom and no pressure from a very large male compared to him. So they're gonna go into the OG coop after it's cleaned out. I'll put netting around it and those roosters will stay in there until we either sell them or process them or find a different place for them. So that's why I'm cleaning out the OG coop. All right, bye.